Hello, my name is Hayden Lewis, and on behalf of Razmafzar, I'm going to show you another punch. So it's a very natural punch, just like it's very natural to swing a sword or a stick rather than pierce with it. It's kind of the same thing with punches, because you see a lot of street fighters, a lot of them don't throw straight punches, you know? So I'm going over the hook, and there's different ways of throwing it. So my favorite personally is a lead hook, but when I'm close and inside my opponent's guard, I throw with both hands. So anyways, so let's go over. So you're in your fighting stance. We have already went over the fighting stance. All right. So with the lead hook, it's usually after a cross. So because it naturally loads up into a hook. Boom. So always, just like when I talked about the knuckle placement, always these two knuckles. You don't necessarily have to turn your hand out like I was talking about in that video, but that's just what I do. Anyways, so lead hook is, if I'm just throwing it, I'm leaning onto this knee, all right? Boom. Or if you want a little more reach, at least for me, I feel I get more reach as I lean and I keep my hand vertical. Boom. So, boom, boom, okay? So it doesn't matter. So I don't know if any of you have ever watched Batman, but it kind of, when you finish it, like say if I were to miss, you kind of look like Batman when he throws his cape, you know? It's the same thing with the hook, boom. So a good hook, when you're throwing it at your opponent, if you were to miss, or if you were to punch and it just goes clean through, you're probably gonna clip him with your elbow. That's how you know you're getting a good hook in, okay? So with that being said, in the placement of the elbow, I find it that the elbow sticks out more with this one rather than this one, just slightly. But anyways, yeah, good hook, you'll probably clip them with the elbow, even if you miss. So I'm not trying to say go and cheat or do this to your training buddies, just an observation. So anyways, back to the basics. I'm in my stance. Boom. Boom. So another safety thing when it comes to the knuckles, I prefer vertical most times, even close, simply because when my hand is this way and they move back, I can still clip them with the weak knuckles whether my hand is turned out or not, and those are weak. Those are the weakest parts of your joints in your hand, and you can break a hand. So I prefer vertical because you're almost always going to hit those knuckles as long as you're aiming with them, or aiming. You're not really aiming. It's like throwing a baseball or shooting a bow. You're just looking at the target and hitting it. But anyways, so just my advice to you, take it with a grain of salt. I prefer vertical. So now that we went over the hook, loading over the knee, boom, or 1, 2, 3, boom, or just 2, 3, boom, okay? Lead hook, not lead hook, rear hook, my bad. It's the same thing. Boom, I'm leaning into it, boom. Just like we did with the uppercut. Boom, I'll back up a little bit so you can see the full range. Boom. 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 So, one thing I like about the hooks is when I watch some of you guys training with a kanjar, it's kind of the same movement. So, you have that blade right there in an ice pick grip. You're going for the neck or whatever target. It's kind of the same movement, and you're using your whole body. Boom. So if I were to just throw a jab and a hook, boom, you can translate it to your kanjar. So you have your separ and your kanjar. Boom. Check with the shield or punch with the shield. Boom. Maybe not pull the shield back per se, but very similar, in my opinion. So, when you're doing body hooks, you're still leaning into it, but you just gotta kind of, like you're squatting, get your hips back, all right? Boom. Boom, okay? So, tell me what you think. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll show it on the target. I just need a glove up and I need to position Mr. Bob over here, okay? I'll be right back.